Hello, and welcome back to Gibbs Crib. This is part 2, and we are standing right next to the shelf from last time. We're not going to go over anything else in this room. I am the Son of God. And next, we will be going to my parents' house to look at my video games. And here we are in the room. I'm going to talk about some games. This is the game room. You may have seen it in other videos. Let's have a little sweep around. There is the red wall and the instruments. There is the consoles. We'll look at those in a second. There's a game being played by my brother Henry. He's going to be clicking and clacking in the background, so just ignore that. And then there's the door. You know, get out of here. There's the door. But here, down here, are my PS2 game. Well, mine, but the PS2 collection. As you can see, there's a lot of them. And I'm just going to pick them out and say what I think about them. I don't know. Okay, so let's start with the ones all the way over here. What's this? Golden Compass. I haven't played this game, actually. I like the book. Golden Compass, I don't think I liked the movie. It's got that guy in it. It's got that guy from then he was gonna be in the fucking James Bond. Yeah. Read the books. The books are great. His Dark Materials trilogy. It's called an altheometer. Not a golden compass. Anyway, enough of that. Gift. This is the biggest piece of shit ever. I don't know where we got it. I can't remember. I think Henry or Charlie bought it somewhere. But it's basically the most terrible thing ever. I was thinking of doing a review on it, like a hypocrite review. Just, you know, seeing how bad it is. It's where do we get it?
It's like a car boot sale or something.
Was it like £1 or something?
Probably less.
Probably less than £1. Oh, Rayman 3. I don't know whether the camera can pick this up, but it's got a cool 3D effect on the cover, which I love. Yeah, you can kind of see it on the thing. Look at that fucking claw, it's coming out at you. It's Rayman 3. Hoodlum Havoc. Love this game. It's because it's Rayman 3. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to say about most of these things, except that I'm just going to say I approve of this game, I approve of that game. Quidditch World Cup. This is a game of my childhood. I mean, there's a lot of these. Literally all of them are games from my childhood, but this one I bought on a fair because I remembered it being fun. Turned it on, realized that it's just really, really broken and very easy to just abuse the same move over and over again and win, which is why I thought it was fun, because I managed to win the game very, very quickly. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, obviously a very good game. Probably my favorite one. It has multiplayer in it. I think it might have been the first one with multiplayer. Me and my brother, Charlie or Henry, I don't know. We took turns doing 2-player. Like we would get the jetpacks, and then we would just fly around and turn on the cheats. When games had cheats, that was fun. When you could just, you know, you do whatever you want.
Yeah. You
just, you know, you'd spawn a tank, etc. Kill people, not even have to worry about it. Dark Chronicle. The sequel, quote-unquote sequel, to Dark Cloud. I haven't played it much. I played like the first dungeon, and I wasn't feeling it at the time. I do want to play this whole thing though and make a video on it, because, you know, I love Dark Cloud so much. I've got to understand whether this game is better or worse, like after I've finished it. So, not just so I can say which one's better or worse, but just, you know, so I have peace of mind. Peace of mind. This one's a good one. Just so you know, the ones at the front of these things are usually the better games because we use them. The ones at the back are the games that are shit usually, except for Gift, which is some reason down there. At the front, Okami. It's a wolf Japanese game, but it's the best wolf Japanese game on the market. You can get it at your local wolf Japanese shop. Honestly, one of my favorite games ever.
Yeah.
Definitely gonna make a video about that at some point.
It's like a painting.
Yeah. Japanese something or other. Ultimate Spider-Man. This was, I never really played this much. I tried, like, there was a point in my youth where I decided I'm gonna beat every single game. I'm just gonna pick one and I'm gonna beat it, no matter whether I enjoy it or not. And this was one of the games, along with, well, I'll get to the other ones. It's okay. It's kind of, it's got a dated look to it. Very, I don't know how to explain it. It's alright. It's a video game. You jump around as Spider-Man. It's actually very fun to swing your web, as is with most Spider-Man games. There was another PS2 Spider-Man game that we have where you only go on the rooftops. This one, you can go around in the city and stuff. Indiana Jones, the Lego one. Didn't play this one that much. There's a lot of these games that I haven't played properly. I want to eventually be the guy who have played all the game I own to completion. That would be like the ideal. This was alright. It wasn't as fun as Lego Star Wars, which we also have.
Yeah.
We didn't really get into it. But I'm sure it's decent all the way through. As is with everything. Every video game by Lego usually is pretty good. Oh, this one. The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. This was the Lord of the Rings game made by the book. Based on the book. Not made by a book. Because you see the ring wraiths, they don't look the way they do in the movie. They got red eyes and shit. And Frodo and Gandalf and, it's the Fellowship of the Ring. You can play as Aragorn, Gandalf, and the Hobbits. No, and just Frodo.
By the way, can I just say, it's like Frodo's sneaking animation is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's not on the back here, but there's a sneaking animation in there's lots of funny things in this game because it's not based on the movies. A lot of things don't look the way you think they would, should, or could. And I tried playing this game. I got to the Balrog, couldn't beat it. It was just incredibly difficult, or maybe I was just bad at the game. Only time will tell, because I want to replay that as well. Star Wars the Lego videos. The games. Which one's this? This is the episode 1, 2 and 3, so it's the new trilogy. Which is it's soon going to be the not new trilogy, because there's a new trilogy going to be called the new trilogy, and there's going to be called the middle trilogy. Or the shit trilogy.
Disney trilogy.
Yeah. But this game is very good. Especially because it's got lightsabers in it. And you can be anybody except Darth Vader. Or can you? All the characters, all the action, all the fun. Wait, is this all of them? Control over 30 of your favourite characters? No, it's the first 3. Because this was the first Lego Star Wars game they made. They didn't even mention that it was episodes 1, 2 and 3. I think I might be going insane. Obviously, there we go. Now I see. This is the other one. This is the original trilogy, where you can play as Darth Vader, and you can play all the other things, and you get both of them together. Great shit. All of these Lego games are great. If you like Lego, but, who doesn't?
I like making my own character out of the other things.
Oh yeah, you can make custom OC characters. That, like that, actually. Like, you can make Darth Vader with Leia's boob. That's what you can do. Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Didn't play this as much, but this was like our introduction to Grand Theft Auto, as it was for probably a lot of people. And I fucking love the sunset sort of stuff. Like, see that? Yeah. The way this game looks is the reason I bought Hotline Miami. Not because people said it was really good. I mean, they did. And I said, oh, well. But the way they just sort of like, oh, that's that aesthetic. The neon. And the sunset and the palm trees. I love that shit.
I remember drowning in just one particular song that was turned into Goofy Goobers in the SpongeBob movie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, it was on the radio in the car, and I asked my dad, and he was the only one who didn't have it. So I just remember it that way.
I should say, because I'm going through these games, like, some of them have to have stories. This one does have a story. We first played this game at our cousin's house. Yeah. This was just like we would go over to, like, for a family get together or whatever. They would do a barbecue. They had a PS2 and this game. They also had Tomb Raider, I think. Mm. They got us into, like, playing Tomb Raider and Grand Theft Auto. But because me and my brothers were very unsociable, we wouldn't want to stand around with the adults. We would want to go into the room with the PS2 and just play this the whole time. and we would just use the cheats. We would make tents. We would we would drown. We would stab people with katanas. It was the best fun ever. So that's the story behind this game. I should replay it. I've never done the story because I was a kid and I didn't care. What did I just pick up? Oh yes, Jak and Daxter. I made a hypocrite video on this. Hypocrite video. Link. There, the link's gone. Jak and Daxter Precursor Legacy. It's got a weird back. You see, and he's just saying like, "Hey Jack, we're in a video game. Let's be a." What does he say? I don't care. I don't really. Good game. I love it. It's platinum. It's one of the better ones. This actually was the very first. One of the very first PS2 games we had with our PS2 on Christmas 2002.
Yeah.
We got this to Christmas 2002. We got that along with Ratchet and Clank and Tarzan's Free Ride, I think.
I think that because I liked the game so much, we started to argue. Mum and Dad started to say, "Oh, you can only have 2 hours each if you're gonna argue about it."
Oh yeah, I was gonna save that story for later, but like, we would have like arguments over the console, but obviously we would because there were 3 brothers and not enough hours in the day. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, one of the better Harry Potter games ever made, because they made some for the movies. This was like the last really good one, because it was about exploring Hogwarts, walking around, learning spells. It was an adventure game. The one after this was like a level by level puzzle game. This was like an open world Hogwarts experience. It was great. You could play in this one. You could play as Harry, Ron, and Hermione. They each would be able to learn specific spells. You would have certain puzzles. You'd need to switch between them. You could ride Buckbeak just around once you unlocked, well, not unlocked, but like you got to the point where you could just go to Buckbeak, and Harry was the only one who could ride him, of course. Fucking great game, amazing. I hate what they did with the Goblet of Fire. It's kind of indicative of the way they fucked up the movie, kind of.
It was like what was it like? Just a first-person shooter.
It wasn't a first. The latest ones, like the Deathly Hallows, are first-person shooters. I think I can't remember. I know like Order of the Phoenix might have been a first-person shooter, which pissed me off. But whatever. I might play them, and they might turn out to be great. Yeah. But Goblet of Fire wasn't the first-person. It was like top-down, walking around, doing puzzles, and shooting enemies like in a Diablo viewpoint. And it wasn't that fun.
Next is called the Wizards.
It wasn't really exploration at all, because it was like level by level. You would do this level, and then you couldn't go back to the level. You wouldn't be able to walk around in a space. You know what I mean. Shit like that. Jak 2 Renegade, also a very good game. I want to play through this whole thing again, and then make a video on that, talking about how it completely changes the game, kind of in setting and theme. But the gameplay, it just adds so much. It's I don't know how to say it in just one video, 1 second of a video.
I love it and hate it because I remember this bit.
Oh, it's very difficult.
Yeah, it's frustratingly difficult, but when you do it, it feels awesome.
I'm not sure whether your voice actually gets picked up very well by this microphone on this camera. If it does, then great. But if it doesn't, sorry people. He's over there playing a video game, also turning over the shoulder of the camera. He's totally good turning around. He's talking back to me. If you can't hear him, fuck you. Sly 3, Honor Among Thieves. Sly games. I love the games of the Sly game variety. The Sly 3 was actually, I think it was... It's difficult. I don't know whether I like it more than Sly 2. Because, well, actually I don't know. I guess there's no real point, saying I like this one better, because they're both great. Carmelita's voice changed, which was weird for me, but really I don't care at this point. It's just not really big of a deal. It was a big deal back then, because I was like, what? How could they change the voice of a character? But, that's just what happens sometimes. Dumbledore had to die, and we had to change him, so in the movie... Speaking of Sly 2, A Band of Thieves. I don't have Sly 1, but I am going to make a Sly 2 review, and eventually a Sly 3 review, maybe in together, I don't know. But I never had the first one. Great gay game for all your gay friends.
Yeah.
What's this? Tekken 4. I remember playing Tekken in arcade machines. There was like Tekken 1 or Tekken 2, I don't know. And it looked really, really cool, but I never wanted to really get the game because I wasn't really an arcade guy. There wasn't much to do at an arcade. I'd say that, I just never went to arcades. The only time we ever went to an arcade was like at this bowling place. They had arcades in the other section. So like, if you weren't bowling, and we were always bowling, you could go and do arcades. And there was also like arcades at beaches that sometimes had them. And like we would go to birthday parties and where other kids would want to go to arcades and we would just be there. But any other time we wouldn't go to an arcade. But I saw Tekken whatever, and then we decided to get a Tekken game because we kind of liked the guy who had Lightning Fist. And it's a fun game, but I can't play it very well.
I can.
Yeah.
Smash buttons.
I mean, yeah, it is kind of a button masheroo, but you know, to me, all fighting games are button mashers, because that's how I play them. Worms 4 Mayhem. I like it less than Worms 3D, because Worms 3D doesn't lag at all. This one lags a lot, especially if you have complicated costumes. But it's basically Worms 3D, but with costumes and different maps. And Worms 3D is a game where it's a turn-based shoot the guy with your worm friends. This is what they look like.
Yeah.
Now let's see. Escape from Monkey Island.
It's one of my favorites.
It is a very good game. I mean, you know, I like PS2 games so much that I probably would say every PS2 game is the best game ever at every point. But I know that this is not everybody's favorite in the franchise, in the series of Monkey Island, because it's very slow and not as in-depth, because it's going into big old PS2 3D. You can't have as much content in there. But, you know, as a game, it is one of my favorites because it's the only one in the series that I've really played. I know my brother Charlie has played the original, and it looked cool, but I didn't.
Played it a bit. It's very good, but it's like sometimes you do pixel hunting and it's a bit difficult. So.
Yeah, I had trouble with it. Like every point-and-click game, you get stuck, but there's always to walk through. Now, Ape Escape 2 is this one. Ape Escape 2, the third in the series. Ape Escape, I love Ape Escape. I have a Let's Play of Ape Escape 1 on my Gibbon Gaming channel, if you give a shit. It's okay at points. It's kind of entertaining. I don't know. If you wanna relive it and also hear me talk about shit at the same time, go click on this link. I also will want to do a video about Ape Escape because it's one of my favorite franchises, and I hate the fact that it didn't really go anywhere after PS2 and like a few PSP games that I've never played because I've never had a PSP.
There was that one.
Huh?
You know the one you're holding.
Oh, this one. This one is Ape Escape 3, the next one. I'm not sure about this. This one, at first, compared to Ape Escape 1, I wasn't sure about the way that, you know, the music or the characters, but compared to Ape Escape 3, this one's great. The characters and cutscenes in this are like, I don't care. A lot of this stuff in this game is kind of whatever. I would say it's weaker than Ape Escape 2, but it does have some nice stuff in it. Like there's the Missile Gear Solid where you play as Monkey Snake, and that's a whole big mini game within the game. And I guess like the power-up powers are pretty cool.
I should probably try that again now that I've properly actually played Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
I'll probably actually be able to do the boss.
Theme Park World. We had the PS1 version of this. I don't know whether I actually played the PS2 version, but it's just basically you build theme parks. It's like Roller Coaster Tycoon, except you have to do everything else. And I don't know, in Roller Coaster Tycoon you actually do everything else. So it's basically just Theme Park World, Roller Coaster Tycoon, PS2, it's pretty good, I guess. Nothing really much to say about that. Now we're getting to the back. There's probably going to be a few shits in this section. When I get to the end of this section, the front of this is going to be pretty good. Oh yeah, starting off with Finding Nemo, the game. Love the movie, love the shark. But yeah, it's just it's a very bland, okay, it's decent and it's got some challenge to it and it's alright, but you know, the time I played it, I was like, as a kid, I wouldn't probably have patience for it now because it's kind of bullshit and it's... I don't know. As licensed games go, PS2 licensed games are generally okay. Anything before this, like on PS1 or anything before that, would usually be terrible, always, but this is alright, I guess. It's like the Golden Compass game. It's okay, but you wouldn't care.
It's mediocre.
Mediocre, yeah. Jack X. Never really played this game, but I bought it because it was a Jack game, and it was a cool idea, but it broke. Or rather, it just wouldn't play. I don't know what's wrong with it. I think it's just something on the disc. Let me look at the disc. Let me see what's on this disc.
I thought it was going to be like another Jack game, but it just sort of had like a weird, title, like sometimes when games go to 1, 2, 3 X banana.
They can see you through the CD reflection. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be much scratching on the disc, but it just didn't work. And I think we tried to repair it by doing some weird rubbing thing on the underside, on the shiny side, which was like a thing that my mum bought to try and fix games that broke. It was supposed to like fill in the scratches, but I think it just made it worse. So I still haven't really played this, but I think it's pretty good. It looks alright. It is a racing game, but I liked the racing in Jak 3.
That thing.
Transformers the game.
It destroyed our old PlayStation.
What, this?
Yeah, I put it in and then I turned it on and then it just fucking died.
Well, the fat PS2.
Yeah, the big
Fuck.
one.
I remember the fat PS2 breaking on Garfield though. I think it was just nearer the end of its life. I don't think it was caused by anything in particular. It might have been this.
I still blame it because it's a bad game.
Yeah, it's kind of a shit game. This is a much worse licensed game because it's a shit license. I don't know why we even have it. I think you asked for it for some birthday.
No, I didn't. I think someone gave it to me because they thought I wanted it.
Oh yeah, that's sort of it's a weird birthday gift. It's robots, guys. Oh, okay. Now this is Garfield 2, another licensed game. The licensed games are in the back. Garfield 2, I don't care for the movie. I don't think it was kind of shit.
I thought it'd be like a better kind of game, like the one with the Hoover.
Yeah, the funny thing is the one based off the comic Garfield PS2 game, which is basically it's. I'll get to it, but this is less interesting because it follows a movie plot, which is a boring movie. So, fuck it. Now the Hulk.
I remember.
Another licensed game, but I tried playing this one a lot because it was the Hulk and it was kind of good. It was difficult and it was a beat 'em up, obviously. But there was also stealth sections where you had to be Bruce Banner and not get... Like, if you get killed as Bruce Banner, you turn into the Hulk. And the stealth sections, you're not allowed to be seen, because if you get shot, you turn into the Hulk. And, like, if there's an area where there's, like, nukes, you can't become the Hulk, because otherwise you'll blow everything up.
Yeah.
It's an alright game.
Anger management on there.
Yeah, this is the one. Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Let's have a look at the back. Experience the excitement of the movie when you play as Harry, Ron, and Hermione in breathtaking adventure packed with action and magic. Emphasis on action. It's not an exploration puzzle game that was awesome, like the first one. Complying your magic, play up to 2 friends, experience with the magic, explore the world of Hogwarts. You don't actually do an exploration. I mean, the reason I understand why it's changed in a game way, because it's, the movie, the book, the Triwizard Tournament. You can't exactly go around there's no point making a big exploration type thing when a lot of it is just going to be in the Triwizard Tournament, in the maze fighting Voldemort, all that shit. So I get why they changed up the dynamic of the game design, but I just prefer it when it's it feels like a magical adventure, because that's what Harry Potter feels like it should be.
They could have done it, but they just didn't do it right because it's difficult to change it.
No, I think they just got lazy, honestly. But lazy that makes sense, kind of. I don't know. Fuck it. It's gay. Lord of the Rings: Return of the King. This, along with Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers, are the Lord of the Rings licensed game based off the movies, and they're actually very good. I enjoy them a great deal. They're very linear though. You play through each level fighting off hordes of orcs at certain things, or Uruk-hai or whatever they are. You play as Gandalf, Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli, Frodo.
The king.
The king. No, that's the first one. The King Isildur. You play the prologue, the fucking, you know, and you get killed by Sauron in the other one. But in this one, Return of the King, you just play the movie, and you go through fight by fight, and you level up by killing a certain amount of things. You can play multiplayer. It's fun. It's just fun to kill loads of things as these cool characters in these cool settings with cool music. I like it. Even if a few of the things are kind of finicky, like moving around, trying to kick down ladders to stop the orcs coming up.
Oh yeah.
And like setting off traps at the right time to get things. Guitar Hero 3: Legends of Rock, the only like music peripheral game that we owned ever. We got Guitar Hero 3. It's the one that has Through the Fire and Flames on it. And yeah. This was before, I got this before I learned how to play guitar, and my frustration, a little bit of frustration on the fact that I didn't have the songs I wanted to play on this. There was a lot of songs by American bands that I didn't even know about, and I don't care about them. And, you know, the idea, the whole Through the Fire, if you're a certain age at a certain time, you'll remember Through the Fire and the Flames around at school, and everybody was talking about how they could do it on expert, or they could hardly do it on hard. Like it was a big talking point among gays like me, faggots like thus. So yeah, it was a big thing, and that sort of, kind of, got me into actually playing the guitar, and now I can play. Really, I can play the Through the Fire and Flames.
Yeah.
Real guitar. No, I can't. I can't nearly do that. Flushed Away, an okay DreamWorks Pixar? No, it's not Pixar, it's DreamWorks. DreamWorks and Aardman, that's what I'm thinking of.
How far did you get in that?
On what?
On that.
On Guitar Hero 3. Oh, Flushed Away. I haven't completed it. I don't think I've really played it at all, but it was a good movie, and I remember you playing it at least.
Well, okay.
This game.
Yeah. It's not that great. There was this rail jumping moment I got stuck on within the first 5 minutes, and I just kept on dying. It's just like, I don't even know why they had it. They could have just done something. It's like, it was trying to be actiony and all fast paced and stuff, but it didn't need to be, especially in I don't know what to say about it. It didn't feel good.
I mean, you know, it's just one of those things. We had it because I guess we got it as a present from somebody who didn't understand what video games are. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We were never into this, ever. We just have this because I don't know why. I think you got it.
I think I tried to play it and I found that it wasn't as good as I would have hoped it
Yeah,
to be.
I mean, it's kind of like a isometric-ish view of a fighting game where you're going around in a sort of stadium, like, you see that? You're going around in a sort of like an isometric-ish shaped stadium. You're not necessarily going forward or backwards or left or right, and you just fight in a kind of boring way. But yeah, I guess if we were into the Turtles a bit more, or into this particular Turtles series, we would like it more? There's Casey Jones in it, I think. You can play as Casey Jones with the Thing. He looks cool. I kind of liked him, but I just generally don't remember this game being fun to play.
Yeah.
I think this is also one of the games I decided to play, even though I didn't like it, to completion, and I didn't get that very far, because
it's difficult.
Difficult and boring. Whoa, things are falling. Tiger Woods Purgator Golf.
Dad played it.
Yeah, Dad. We got it for Dad. And he didn't really like it. He prefers Wii Golf, because that's actually, you know, a thing where you swing your fucking hand. You know, and he's right. Wii Golf is a much better game, because it's fun, and this is golf. Now this is interesting. Jimmy Neutron Attack of the Twonkies. Actually brilliant. My favourite Jimmy Neutron game. Jimbo Jimmy Neutrons. You go around and basically science happens and there's aliens on Earth and you've got to fucking sort it out. By inventing gadgets by picking up shit, and it's a vacuum cleaner game. Actually very similar to Garfield, now that I think about it. The Garfield game we have, you also have to vacuum shit up. But this game, you're vacuuming aliens into a thing. And it's surprisingly great. Like, I liked the show, kind of. I don't remember the show very well. But I remember it enough to know that it's very, it's got the same voice actors, same sort of animation. And it's a fun game, but it's not the best game, I guess. I don't know.
I think the animation actually was kind of funny because it wasn't that high tech or anything.
It's not very smooth, the animation, but it's very bouncy. I don't know why I haven't been opening these so you can see the fucking manual, because, I'm just showing you the cover. You can look that up on Google. Here's all the information you need about German Ultra on the Twinks. That's enough of that. It's a good game, I guess. Don't trust me on any of this stuff, except all of it. Oh.
It's like, if you don't have your expectations high, it's a great game.
Yeah.
That's probably what the cover does.
Yep. International Q Club. A snooker, pool, billiards, I don't fucking remember. It's just an average pool game.
Yeah.
It's alright. It has a weird menu. It's actually probably very cheaply made, but it was one of the first games we had, so I just ended up trying to play it. And you can find better pool games on fucking the internet, on Newgrounds, maybe. I'm not sure, but Warhammer 40,000 Fire Warrior. This is an FPS based on some sort of a story in the Warhammer universe with the Tau.
Yeah.
I kind of like it. It's difficult, and I wanted to try and complete it, but it's, I burned out on it.
I got stuck on this bit where there's this, aircraft. It comes out of nowhere. You got, a checkpoint just before it.
Oh, I think I actually beat that.
How do you get it down? I can't even damage the damn
Was it
thing.
was it like a thing where there's pillars kind of, and then there's a big sort of, and you got to try and shoot it, and it shoots you with missiles that explode.
Yeah.
I don't know how. I think what I did is I ended up running underneath it and going, and it got stuck for a second, and that's how I killed it.
What, glitched it?
I didn't glitch it. I think I just won somehow due to my extreme power. But yeah, I did die a lot on that. That was annoying. But it's a good game if you like the things in it, I guess. Why am I trying to recommend it? I'm not trying to give scores. I'm just saying I have this game. I have that game. I have them all. I don't remember where they all came from, which is why I'm only talking about whether they're good or not. If I remembered when and where we got them, I would talk about that. Speaking of, Jak 3, I don't fucking know where this came from. Came from my asshole. But it's a great game. It takes stuff from Jak 2 and allows you to free roam in the desert with amazing sand buggy, dune buggy, motherfucker buggy huggy fuggy things, and I like them. I like jumping on them, but this fucking piece of shit broke multiple times. I think this is the one where we tried to... Yeah, it wasn't Jak X, it was... Look at this. I think you might be able to see. You see that? That is like a Q-tip dipped in this weird resin thing that is supposed to save this disc from being scratched. But it makes it impossible to play. Every so often in a blue moon I would put it into the thing. Every so often in a blue moon. Every, time I would try to play it, it wouldn't work. Except for maybe sometimes. And I would never be able to get too far into the game. Although, now that I think about it, I think I actually did get to the last boss, but I couldn't beat it because it was too hard, and I think it froze. So I was just like, oh fuck it, I don't care. I beat the game, but I want to play it properly, so I might have to just buy another one. Jak 3 though. Jak 3 is good. Enjoyed it a lot. Ed and Eddie. It's a game. It's you kind of just walk around and do things, and it's got the good the right voice actors and very funny animations, but in general, it's just a mediocre whatever.
Yes.
You roam around the suburbs, the cul-de-sac, and you try and get stuff for jawbreakers, or it's like vaguely interesting
Yeah.
plots for episodes of the show. Like, not from the actual show, but just like things that would probably be in the show if the show was worse.
Yeah, but it was like an okay game for me until it came up to this part where there was this ridiculous go on a bicycle across this wooden ramp shit, and God, because it was just like an inch wide, this wooden ramp, and you have to cycle along it with these terrible controls, and I just kept on fucking up every time, and you have to start exactly from the beginning every time you lose. It's like, oh, fuck it up. Even,
Yeah, it says it was. I remember that as well. It's kind of shit. The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. This is the first Spyro game I know of that went with the whole leveling up fucking Dragon RPG piece of shit. Devastating fury attacks, powerful upgradable breaths. I didn't even try to play this because I saw it and I was like, fuck that. I don't care, I don't like it, I hate it. I don't even know whether it's actually a bad game, but I don't like it. Henry got it, Henry played it.
Yeah,
I think Charlie actually smashed the disc at one point because he didn't like it. And we bought another one, which is why this has a nice sheen finish.
Yeah,
I don't know why he broke it. I guess he was just like having some issues or something.
I don't know why I wanted it to begin with. I guess I just sort of like, I thought, I didn't think about how games can get bad.
Oh yeah, you just thought it was one of the Spyro games. It's obviously good because it's Spyro, and I liked the other Spyro game.
Yeah, that's what my thinking was.
Yeah.
Because I was little.
SpongeBob SquarePants, Christopher the Krusty Krab. It's okay, but whatever. I mean,
Wait. Oh, that?
Yeah. It's like.
Yeah, the animations are ridiculously dumb. I mean,
Well, the animations are alright, but like the game is just like mediocre 3D platforming with some racing bits, and it's just sort of like. I don't know why they made this game. Oh, I know why, because it's fucking a game. It's a fucking sponge.
I have a Game Boy Advance game.
Yeah, we have a Game Boy Advance.
It's a lot better.
The Game Boy Advance version of this is actually more playable because it's like. It's just not. It's less bullshit. With stuff like this, you just walk around on a platform, you kill some enemies, you do some very easy, get the key to the door. Okay, now go. Okay, now jump some more. It's boring. Keep going though. I don't like it. Could not complete it. iToy Play 2. We have iToy Play 3 also. iToy was one of the PlayStation 2 gimmicks where it would be a camera. It was basically before the Kinect, and it wouldn't be like a motion sensor camera. It would literally just be a camera. You can probably see. You would put the camera so you could see yourself. You have to light yourself properly, and then you would be recognized as, whatever. It would detect motion. That's how it would like green screen you. You know how fucking how it works. You get your motion. The background doesn't move, so it's transparent, and every time you move, when it's got light on it, you do things. And like if there's a thing here, you hover your finger over it, and then it's like bing, you click the button by not even using a controller. It was fun for the time. I guess it's kind of still fun now, but actually it is kind of fun. I want to play it. Actually,
I remember punching like ninjas and stuff.
Yeah, punching ninjas at the side of the screen. The games are sort of very primitive, but the gimmick works for me. Mark of Cry, baby. It is. Well, you've played this a lot, so you talk about it.
Well, gameplay-wise, I fucking love it. At the time, though, I wasn't really. I was kind of the guy who like playing WoW and didn't listen to the story, so I really should play that again because I kind of skipped the cutscenes. But I love fucking playing it, and it's probably why I felt it was too short.
You did put cheats on for like the last 7 levels or something.
Oh yeah.
You put invincibility
get, like,
cheats.
A big spike of difficulty.
But yeah, I'll just explain a bit. It's like it's a spectacle fighter kind of with a bit of platforming.
And some stealth.
And some it's nice, really. To look at and to run around and play, it was surprisingly good for like something that we just got pre-owned at some store at some point. Yeah, I should play this. I don't think it's a classic, but it's definitely pretty good. Rayman, also known as Rayman Arena in America and probably other places. Look, I'm Kunt. The German text at the back. I don't know why there's German text, but there's also English text. It's basically a Rayman game based on Rayman 2 with racing, with Glowbox and the Teensies and Razorbeard, and if you've played Rayman 2...
Not car racing.
Not car racing, walking racing. They would run, and there would also be fighting battles and fucking huge time sink. We would play so much of this, you know, single player unlocking characters before we realised there were cheats.
Skins.
And skins for each character. I don't know. I love Rayman. So that's that shelf. I'll probably just put these back later. So whoa, it's a lot of games. And now the other shelf. Let's start with this shelf. Well, start with the second. I don't know what I'm saying. Worms 3D. I talked about Worms 4D. It wasn't Worms 4. It was 3D. You are a worm. You are a 3D worm. You go around and in a Hogs of War style. If you don't know Hogs of War, you won't know what that means. But you shoot bazookas. You shoot shotguns. You shoot mortars, grenades. You flamethrowers. It's a comedy 3D worm shoot 'em up, going around turn-based 3D, somewhat platforming, parachute, bungee jumping, exploding sheep. It's crazy. It's wacky. It's Worms 3D, and I love it. It's great.
Also, you can destroy the land.
Oh yes, you can destroy the land with your explosions, and you can drown. So you know, things to put on the back of the box. Ratchet & Clank 3, probably my favourite of the Ratchet & Clank games on the PS2, because it builds on the other two games and it's got multiplayer as well, which we often have played.
Yes.
Whenever we get in the mood for Ratchet & Clank, we also get in the mood for Ratchet & Clank multiplayer, and we obviously would play that. And Dr. Nefarious is probably my favourite villain. Yeah. I like it. I don't know what to say about it. If you want to see my Ratchet & Clank 1... Well, I'll save that for when I pick up Ratchet & Clank 1 and talk about that. I made a video on it. I made a video on Ratchet & Clank. I'm going to make a video on all the Ratchet & Clank games, and then the PS3 version.
Ooh.
Prince of Persia, the one that I didn't play.
Yes, I played that. I mean, it's kind of, it's like the other one, which, you know, I could play the other one for quite a long while before getting to a part where it was too difficult, but like 5 minutes in, I had this thing where there's like this really awkward jump where you had to go along this wall, but because of the camera, you didn't know exactly when to jump, and it's just like fucking fiddly. And just that one bit, I did it like not 1,000, but like at least 20 fucking times trying to do this dumb jump, and it took a while to get there because the checkpoint wasn't right next to it. It was like a really fucking long way away just to get to this bit to just fucking die again and again and again and again. It's just
yeah, I mean, it looked alright. I've tried a bit of it. It's got a cool guy chain thing. You go half evil. I mean, who doesn't love going half demon with a fucking chain in your vein?
You couldn't even get to that part where you get that cool thing.
No, I remember, like, near the beginning, it's like, you've got evil powers now, you've got to try and suppress the power, otherwise it will consume you. So you've got to do, like, kill guys while you're evil. And that was like a tutorial bit. It was like, this is how it's done, but you don't get the full power until later or something. I don't know. I never really played this, but I did play the other one. Or one of the other ones. There's lots of them. Tom and Jerry War of the Whiskers. This is similar, kind of, to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but it's got Tom and Jerry characters. It's funny, and it's you pick up things around the place and you whack people with it, and there's hazards with the...
I found it quite fun.
Yeah, I liked it. There's Tom, there's Jerry, there's Butch, there's Spike, there's...
Robocat.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's, from the cartoons, they've got stuff, like, there's the Monster Jerry from, you know, Dr. Jerry and Mr. Hyde or whatever episode that is. But yeah, it's Tom and Jerry violence in a video game, and it's actually pretty awesome. Also very frustrating at the high level difficulties. But once you've unlocked all the characters, it's pretty cool because the background of the menu goes from blue to red.
Yep.
So that's how you can tell you win. So that's a good one. Gnome Climber rear turns. Gnome Climber 10 rear turns. This is one of the funny joke games Charlie made for us. It's actually a real game. It's The Mummy Returns. Oh my god. This game, we put it in because Charlie bought it as a joke. We made the joke packaging, but he didn't know exactly what the game was like. He just thought, I'll just get a cheap license game and make a funny thing for it for Christmas. And it is absolutely hilariously bad. I do want to make some sort of a video on this. Probably not a let's play because it's kind of lengthy and boring. But like, hilariously boring, if that's a way you can understand it. Let's just say the first few cutscenes where they're talking. Like, if you look those up, you will understand immediately how terrible they are.
Oh, it's just so fucking funny. I mean, the kid, he just sort of walks in.
It's hard to explain, like, right now when you can't see it.
Yeah.
But, like, if I make a video on it, you will definitely see that.
Yeah.
Alright, what's this? Dynasty Warriors. This is the one of the more recent purchases that you've made, Henry, because you're playing Dynasty Warriors right now on that screen.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is Dynasty Warriors 5. You're playing what?
Yes.
Is it the same game?
Yeah. I find it to be pretty good. My friend Giles talks about Dynasty Warriors a lot. He recommended this one because it's like, apparently the other ones are more tactical, and this one is a bit less, more combat focused, and you can just sort of relax and hack and slash your way around. I find it fun. I got a guy with an afro and a vest, and he's taken over the empire. And I enjoy it.
Yeah, it looks like a kind of fun game, but there's so many of them. I don't know where to start, because I like, personally, when it comes to any sort of franchise, I like to start at the beginning one, even though it's not necessarily the best one. It's usually the worst one, if it's like a long-running thing that started badly, but it gained traction and it became better. Like, usually the sequel of anything is better than the first.
Well, just to like...
Maybe, I don't know what I'm saying.
There isn't really like a streamlined story.
Yeah, it's not so much about like keeping up with the story. I just like seeing where the game started and where it came to. Like, if I were to pick up any franchise now, I would want to go to the first one. Like, back then, I didn't realize that I cared so much about this. Because I didn't understand, like, when I played Escape from Monkey Island, I didn't know there were other Monkey Island games. I didn't even think about that. But now I know that the franchises exist and they don't always have numbers. Like Ratchet & Clank 2. So, Ratchet & Clank 2, let's segue into that suddenly. Ratchet & Clank 2 is much better than Ratchet & Clank 1. Not much better, but definitely better in so many ways than Ratchet & Clank 1, even though Ratchet & Clank 1 is a great game. It's so good, dude. It's got arenas and everything's better. Everything's just so much better. The thing, though, is that the health levels up. The game is designed with that in mind, so it doesn't really make too much difference. But it's like, I feel like it might be a superfluous, like, addition, because, you know, if you've got loads of health and you're going up against a really tough enemy, they will take off like 18 points of your health. Whereas in the other game, in the first game, it would just take off 1 of your health and you would have much less health points. So it would be about dodging rather than just having enough health experience.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just a failsafe. There is also a weapon in here that just makes you immune from damage for a while. And you can upgrade the weapons as well. But, you know, that's not really a gripe. It's fun. It's just a different game. It's not a worse game. It's not a worse game. Madagascar.
Oh.
I actually kind of like the platforming in this. And the commentary by the characters as it goes along, but it is not very... It's not A-class. I guess, like, it would say it's a C+ game. If I were to give rankings to this, like, it's an average, but it's not terrible, and you could play it and enjoy it. There is a mini-golf mini-game.
I do like the mini-games.
Yeah, the mini-games are good. There's, like, a curling mini-game. But, like, the funny animations, the things that happen, and the general sound design make it not annoying. Like, and the level design. The design makes it nice, but the gameplay is kind of whatever.
Yeah.
You could take it or leave it.
It's like... How far did we get with that, though?
I beat it, I think.
You did?
Yeah. You get to the last guy and it's like that that other guy, the guy who's trying to seduce Alex the lion into the dark side by eating meat, and you beat him as Alex. I think I can't remember. I can't even remember the movie.
I think I remember. It's like a ring, and then he's in the center on this.
Yeah, and you got these. You got to get the durian fruits and throw them at him or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was difficult, but I beat it, and it was pretty good. Destroy all humans. This one was very cool. When I first played it, it says 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 twice though. 9 out of 10 twice. This one's in the packaging, and this one is an actual sticker on the packaging.
18 out of 10. 20.
18 out of 20. Exactly. One giant step on mankind. Kind of gory. Starts off kind of cool. You are an alien. You are fucking going around doing things. You are probing humans. And it's all about fucking up humans without being detected. So you go around, you use your mind rays to blow up people's brains, and you collect their brain stems for like XP, and then you get in your ship. And the thing I like about this is it's just a big open world. You land your ship, you can go to your ship landing pad, you fly around, you blast the fuck out of shit, you blow up buildings and things. But at other times you need to like disguise yourself as a human by looking at them and using a mind power. It's a stealth game, but it's just an alien game. I don't know what to say. It's destroy all humans. You destroy all humans.
Not for the queasy.
Yeah. I wouldn't say it's a 9 out of 10, but it's definitely fun. Definitely fun.
Yeah.
Star Wars Starfighter. This is another one of the very first PS2 games we had, and I kind of like it. At first I wasn't sure about it because I wasn't very good at it, but I played it again like more recently than the first time. And I actually listened to the story, and it was alright. You know, it's completely separate from the Star Wars canon. It's just like a Star Wars starfighter, a mercenary, and a mercenary's army, and some other person, a bounty hunter, I think. They team up and do missions on certain planets to sort of fucking kill some assholes. So but the flying is fun.
Didn't you like first get it from your friend, and you like ordered? No way.
No, this is why. Look, I wrote my name on it. This is one of the games that I wrote my name on, because I lent it to a friend, and I wanted them to remember that this is my game. Or rather, my mum said you should put your name on it in case they forget that it's yours. So I put my name on it. And this, I think, it's also Ratchet & Clank 1 has this on it.
Yeah, it was like Matthew, and he gave us like...
Yeah, he wrote his name on his games, and we traded games for a few days or weeks.
Like he gave us like what is it, like Jedi Knights kind of fighting.
I have no idea what he gave us. I think he may have given us like a James Bond game as well.
Yeah,
maybe.
I definitely remember there's like the Star Wars thing based on dueling with Jedi Knights.
I very, very vaguely remember having that game. A game in that sort of vein. But yeah, we traded games for a while, and it was fun. And we traded them back. So now that's just on the disc. Dark Cloud. Whoa, Dark Cloud.
Yeah.
It's got a great review by me, Hypocrite. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Go click on that. Anyway, Dark Cloud. You could watch that video to know what I know about this game. Now the thing about this, the reason I bought it was because my friend Aaron at the time, I mean, I guess he would still be my friend due to nostalgia, but I haven't talked with him in years. He was my friend. I went to his house once, and he had the demo of Dark Cloud, and we played it for a while, and he liked it because you could do all these things, and I was like, whoa, this is like my favourite thing I've ever seen, ever. He was just walking around the thing, and he was going into he was going like into the thing, and then flying up and moving around the house, and I'm like, you can go into the dungeon, you can build a fucking village, and you can fight skeletons. You know, it's just like blowed my mind just watching that demo. So I had to have it. I don't know when I got asked for this, but I have it now. So yeah. If he didn't have that demo, I probably would not even have never known about that game, because my parents weren't really in the know about games, so it was up to me, or up to random people, to figure out what I would get or have. Like, we would just go around in the shop. That's the thing I didn't really mention. We would go around in shops, because we did to find out games that we would get. And which is why we have so many licensed games, because we didn't have any video game magazines. There wasn't like a Nintendo Power for Sony, and even if there was, our parents probably wouldn't let us buy it because it would be expensive. So we just had to, Akami was a completely just, hey, look, this is a fucking... I actually remember being in the store when you looked at that, or no, Mum said, hey, look at this, maybe you'd like it, Henry, and you said, oh, yeah, I guess. And then we got it, and it was the best thing. Yeah. It was just like, we would never have known about that until the internet, until we were proficient on the internet, until we got that, so... Video games...
I remember it was like, I don't know, it was maybe like my birthday or something, and we were going around the shop and I just saw Crisis, I just picked it up and said, oh, the best game or something, and I like the look of that. I find it just, all the new Crisis games, I find they suck compared to the old one, because you can't get the satisfying pick up a guy by the throat and throw him into a metal shack and then watch the shack crumble. It's just the best thing ever.
Yeah, I've never played Crisis, but I never had a computer that could run it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have seen you play it. It's kind of fun. Kind of fun. I like that about, like, I don't know, at least my childhood, like the idea of going into a store and just looking at the stuff on the shelf and saying, I kind of like the look of that. I'm going to buy it and play it. Because, like, a lot of the time, I would never do that anymore. I would either wait for a reviewer to say, this is a good game, buy it. Or I would, well, yeah, that would be it. Like, if a game reviewer that I trusted said, this is a really good game, and I already kind of, you introduced me to the game, and I was like, that looks like something I would like, and then I get it. I would never go to a store at it. I don't browse Steam like some people do. It's just too many games. Unless it's like the free-to-play stuff, because I don't have to worry about purchasing stuff. Anyway, next thing.
Well, actually...
free-to-play, like, I would,
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2 is under free-to-play. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. This is a game that is my favourite Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets in the world. It is, like I said, with the Prisoner of Azkaban, an open world, Hogwarts, firing spells, learning spells, but you can only play as Harry. But, that's fine. You can get on your broom, you can ride around Hogwarts, just fly around the grounds, you can go to the fucking forest, you can fight... It's just so good. It's so difficult to explain how amazingly awesome this is. If you haven't played any of the Harry Potter games, and you really like Harry Potter movies or books, you should buy at least this one. Because it has that magical feeling. It's indicative of the magical feeling of playing Harry Potter.
Isn't there like a PlayStation 1 of the Chamber of Secrets?
Yes, well, there's also a PlayStation 1 version of this if you want to get a PlayStation 1 version, which might emulate better on your computer. But this one, I remember better because I had it first. I didn't know that there was a PS1 version until much later, but I bought it and tried it, and it's really good. But it's PlayStation 1, so much worse graphic. And much less exploration ability. Because like in this, you can just go around the halls, you can go to different floors for the moving staircases, you can find secret passageways, you can use your spells that you learned in certain lessons to go and find more secret passageways and unlock things, and there's stealth sections, and it's the greatest. It's the fucking greatest game I've ever seen. Except for Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. I remember looking at this game in the shop window of a, like... It's so weird how I just remember stupid memories like this. But we were on holiday, and it was a nice cottage near the beach. It was a cottage house near the beach, and it was like... There was a toy shop, and in the toy shop we got Bionicle, because I really was into Bionicle. I loved getting that Bionicle. I think it was one of the round guys. Oh no, it might have been like before the round guys existed, but... There was also this, and I was like, this movie had come out recently, or we had watched it recently, or whatever. I was really, really into this. Fucking loved Helm's Deep. It's my favourite thing ever. Love Lord of the Rings, and then fucking this game. And it was they said, my parents said, oh, we already bought you a Bionicle. Don't get, I don't know if I'm buying you this, because you don't even have your PS2 with you on this holiday. But I didn't care. I fucking loved the idea that I had this now. And I would fucking go home and I played it so much. It's basically the same as Return of the King. But with Helm's Deep.
Did it have like co-op?
Yes.
I think we played it.
We play as Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, and you do co-op, and you go through, and it's so difficult at some points. It's basically, this feels like Dark Souls looks. Like, I haven't played Dark Souls, but the way it looks reminds me of this game. Some people might agree if they've played both. But anyway, on to more things. We might be, this is a very long video, I might be running out of battery. Asterix and Obelix XXL, or like 20, 100, I don't fucking know Roman numerals to this degree. 101 Dalmatians. L is like, L is 100? I fucking can't. Asterix and Obelix. If you know Asterix and Obelix, then that's cool, because you just fight Romans in a very simple punch 'em game. There's a very occasionally a bit of platforming, but basically you just blow up Romans in Roman formations.
I got up to Rome, and then there's just like the first part of Rome is like fucking incredibly difficult. It's just this small room, and you get an onslaught of Romans, and I don't even know if you're supposed to beat it or whatever. It's just impossible.
Yeah. I like Asterix and Obelix in general. They got a lot of good cartoons. If you've never heard of them, well, fuck you. Actually, don't fuck you. I don't know how well known this is in the US, but it's fucking great. I love it. Not really much else to say about it at the moment, because I can't think of a way to present it in a way that would, like, entice you to look into it. Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. The very first Prince of Persia game, and the one I played and actually beat at one point. It's very difficult. Very difficult, but it's such cool platforming. This is much preferable to Assassin's Creed for me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the same things, like wall jumping, wall climbing. It's not as, like, open worldy, but I just enjoy this game more than Assassin's Creed. Not because Assassin's Creed is, like, a competitor for the spot of this type of game. I just like, I don't know, whenever I think Assassin's Creed, I think Prince of Persia, but different.
Yeah, I like the story in Prince of Persia. I mean, compared to the other one.
It's cool how, like, he's telling the story, and every time you die, he sort of goes, wait, that didn't happen. Rewind. Oh yeah, the time rewinding spell thing. You might have heard.
It's freaking awesome.
It's just, you rewind time with sand. Oh, Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. Not the Temple of Doom, the Emperor's Tomb. This is not based on a film. Here is a video of us Let's Playing it. It's just one video. It's pretty hilarious, because this game is hilarious. And it's now on GOG.com if you really want it. It's an Indiana Jones game, and it's very much taking all the campiness of, like, the punching and the jumping and the woohoo, but not like it's selling it straight, but like being campy with it at the same time.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love it so much. It's not a great game. Oh yeah, and this is a story. Oh, we talk about that story in the Let's Play.
Do we?
Yeah, we talk about the fact that we got it from the library.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we got it from. This is like a library game. But while the games in the library, there used to be video games for some reason. I guess the library people just didn't understand that having a fucking PS2 game in a library is amazing, and they put them up there, and we went there and we got Indiana Jones, and I think Indiana Jones was actually the best one. There was also Harry Potter Quidditch. And those are the two games I really like. The rest was just sort of whatever. I don't care. Spyro Enter the Dragonfly. First Spyro game I ever played. I talk about Spyro at length in my Spyro Let's Play. I like the fact that I'm able to show my Let's Plays, because nobody watches them, but I don't really care. You don't need to watch them. They're extensively extensive, and not always entertaining. But if you're watching this sort of video, you might enjoy my Let's Plays, because, It's just sort of just me talking, me and my brothers talking. But this one is widely regarded as one of the worst in the series because of the loading times and a lot of other things that are just stripped out of the game that were in the previous games. However, nostalgia for this is more powerful than the facts. Get out of here with your facts. I don't need facts. This is Spyro. So I enjoy this game and I would play it all again just with my nostalgia power, because I am that powerful.
If you didn't have the loading times, I'd say it's a pretty okay game.
Yeah, it's a pretty okay game, aside from that shit. Crash Twinsanity, this is one of the recent purchases that I've never really played, and you played it, so
yeah,
when you talk about it.
I really need to play that more, but the first few minutes of playing it it's really difficult. I'm not used to how difficult it is. I guess I'm getting kind of too used to the new games that hold your hand too much. You sort of have this sort of... Okay, first off, you don't have one-hit kills, which I'm not used to.
Well, that's all Crash games do that.
Yeah, but you got like an onslaught, and it's not the same kind of layout as the normal Crash games. It's different. No, the reason I got it is because I saw these videos on YouTube of the a cappella music. And
a cappella.
Sorry, I'm dumb. Music, and I liked it. I thought I might get this game. I'm interested in it, and then I tried it, and I'm still stuck on the first level.
Really? I thought you played a lot of it.
I've been trying. It's just that I'm not very good. You might be better at it, but there's just
the concept behind it is kind of weird. Like Crash and Cortex teaming up to fight some weird guy.
Bad.
3 playable characters, including Ninja Cortex and Bionic Goth Girl. Bionic Goth Girl.
Woo!
Woo! Yeah. So there's that. We have another Crash game to talk about here, so I'll talk about that later. The Worms Forts Under Siege. Another Worms game, similar to the others. Not as laggy as Worms 4, but kind of laggy also still.
It's got this very different mechanic though with the
very different mechanic where you build forts by walking on specific spots on the map, building walls between them, and they give you like access to cool weaponry. And there's lots of missions where like the task is to destroy another person's fort. But in general, this isn't a very fun game. Yeah. You would much rather play Worms 4 or Worms 3D. Because it feels like a game mode for Worms 3D, but it's a whole game, so you can't really just play the normal game at the same time. So it's alright, I guess.
Yeah. Kind of meh.
Sonic Heroes, fucking join the team and do the Sonic. This was, I think, the first Sonic game we owned. Aside from Sonic Advance 3, which you had.
Yeah, I liked that game.
That was a good game. Sonic Advance 3 is good. This is not, but it was my first introduction to having a game of Sonic. So I just, from this point on, I associated Sonic with being really, really cheesy. But I enjoyed the game enough to play it because, you run around, you've got the... I love the music, and the beach level is really nice. I don't know. Sonic Heroes is my nostalgic thingy. I know it's bad. It's my Sonic Adventure 2, I guess.
At least not Sonic 06, lol.
Yes. My friend actually had a Sonic 06, and we played it for like 5 seconds. We didn't know what we were doing. We did the multiplayer, which is basically one of you is Sonic, one of you is Shadow or Silver, and you just run the same map in different screens, and you win by getting there first, which is dumb.
Yeah.
I don't care. Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3!
Woo!
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 This has a great opening, and it's a great game. There's loads of shit to do, and there's loads of characters, and it's Dragon Ball Z. Do you like Dragon Ball Z?
Loading
You'd like
screen, you can twist the analogs.
Yes, it's got a nice loading screen too. You go to Twisty Twist. There's also, the story mode. You fly around the world and go down to places. The thing I don't like about the story mode, though, is that it assumes you know everything about the Dragon Ball Z universe and the story from like context with the manga and all the filler content, because there's lots of things in this that I have no clue what the fuck they're saying. Like they say like Goku at one point, there's this thing where Goku comes up to Karen's house, and he says, "Hi Karen," and then there's a crash sound, and he's like, and Karen's like, "Ooh," and then Goku's like, "Oh, sorry Karen." Oh wait, they call him Korin in this, fuck. Yeah, I'm not used to it. Because I grew up. I read the Dragon Ball Z manga instead of watching the animated series at all. So it's weird for me to hear all these characters said differently from what I thought they were when I read them. So I'm probably very unique in the fact that I have not seen Dragon Ball Z, but I know all about it. So yeah. Great game, by the way. I said that. And this is the actual Crash game we have. Crash Bandicoot: The Wrath of Cortex. It's, I think it's not very good in comparison to the PS1 games, but I very much like the ball thing where you go around as a ball.
Was it like our first Crash game, though?
Yes, it is. Is it? No. I think I played a PS1 Crash 3. I think I played that one at a friend's house or something first.
I didn't, so that was my first.
Yeah, but this was like pretty much our first Crash Bandicoot exposure. And it's a good game, I guess. I still hate the water levels to death. I never liked those. But the ball levels are pretty good. The Coco levels are frustrating because Coco is much different. Much different. Much different.
Very rare.
Alright. Getting to the last bit now. Ratchet and Clank Gadget. I made a video about it. Click it a fucking link. Ratchet and Clank. 1 on the PS2. So everything about this game, literally everything. I talk too much about everything in this game. In terms of the story, it's fun. It's nice. I like Clank. I like the dynamic they have with Ratchet. I like the fact that they actually go through a character arc, and it's like, and the characters are nice and cool and fucking funny, and the writing is funny, and it's a good cinematic as well as being a great game. Ratchet and Ratchet and Ratchet and Clank. Ratchet and Ratchet and Ratchet and Clank. Not sure what else to say about that. Simpsons Hit and Run. It's GTA for kids. On the playground, people would make fun of people who said they liked Hit and Run because it was for kids. It's not real GTA. You've got to have swear words in your games, otherwise you're uncool. I don't care. But I didn't tell them that I played Simpsons Hit and Run a lot. So yeah, it's basically GTA but with Simpsons humour and Simpsons characters and Simpsons things. The CG cutscenes look terrible. They have not aged well. They've not aged at all. What's the difference? It's Hit and Run, it's nice, it's good. It's fucking Simpsons. If you like Simpsons comedy from like the season 4 era, I don't know, the good seasons. That was when it came out, I think. Star Wars Battlefront 2, everybody loves this game.
Yeah.
It's a game where you play as the good guys or the bad guys on a big old battlefield. And you can unlock the ability to play as heroes like the Jedi, or the Sith, or some bounty hunters, or Han Solo, or you know what.
Personally, I'd never want to go as the heroes, because just being the regular trooper, I'd do better. Personally.
Oh yeah. I mean, I love Vader because he just jumps and he goes whoop. He goes sort of like whoop, and then he fucking flies forever. Like he's really slow, and then he sort of falls down. But everyone else just does a Jedi jump. Darth Vader just does a fucking fly up into the air. It's funny.
Apparently, he does like the most damage.
Yeah. Darth Vader. And also, there's a spaceship combat, which is, in my opinion, more fun than the other spaceship Star Wars game on its own. But that other game is built around, I don't know, fucking, I don't know. great shit. If you like Star Wars, fuck you.
I was watching Charlie play that on his computer recently. It's quite funny. He's doing the Mos Eisley Heroes mission, whatever you call it, session thingy, and it's like you know, it's basically, if you don't know, it's like all the heroes and villains fight on Mos Eisley.
Yeah.
And it's just funny because he was playing the bad guys and he's just watching, he's questioning, why am I always losing as the bad guys? And he figured out that it's the Emperor and his lightning attack keeps on friendly firing everyone all the time.
What an asshole. I didn't know that happened.
Yeah.
I never liked playing as the Emperor either. It was slow and gay.
Yeah, he's just...
Literally. Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance. This is a Baldur's Gate game, but it's not as good as the Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. However, just like everything else that I've said, like the Spyro things, this is my first exposure to the series, and I have nostalgia for it, so that means it's a good game anyway. This game is a tour de force, says a gaming magazine. But yeah, it's a top-down Diablo-esque PS2 game. Why did I specify the console? You go around as an RPG, you level up, you are a human, a dwarf, or an elf, and the story is kind of like bland-ish, but I still love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's the best game, actually, the best one in the entire universe. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what I like more? Why is this in the back? Dragon Quest. Doesn't say 8, but this is Dragon Quest 8, The Journey of the Cursed King, with Yangus.
7.
Is it 7?
I thought it was 7.
I thought it was 8. You can look it up, because you got Google. Anyway, look at that. Look at that fucking... This is another thing. I mean, at first, like, obviously, at this point, I knew what Akira Toriyama, in my life, I knew what Akira Toriyama's drawings looked like, so I was like, oh my god, Akira Toriyama made a video game? I didn't even know about it. And I thought maybe he just did the box art. But no, it's his designs in 3D. And it's my favourite RPG, I think, ever. Let me think.
Well...
I like it more. I haven't played many classic RPGs. I'm actually trying to play Chrono Trigger at the moment on my Let's Play channel. That's shit, don't watch it. But like, I think... Yeah, I think this is my favourite, like, sword and sorcery RPG ever.
Yeah. It does get very difficult towards the end.
Yeah, I never beat the final boss. I actually got to the point where it was the final boss and I just couldn't beat him because I didn't have enough health. I just had to grind and grind. And I couldn't be bothered. So I just stopped. But, you know, doesn't mean it's a bad game. But speaking of bad games, Chicken Little.
Fuck.
The fucking Chicken Little game. It's a piece of shit, there's really nothing to say. The movie was bad. The movie was bad. It was mildly entertaining, as my dad put it.
And this...
The thing is with my dad, he'll sit through some bad movies, bad-ish movies, kind of mediocre movies, and he'll say, yeah, that was pretty good. But Chicken Little, there was like this birthday party that we were going to with these younger kids, like the sibling of a friend or something. We were just invited along because they liked us as the older guys that were cool. We went to watch Chicken Little in the theatre, and it was so shit. I didn't laugh once, twice, 3 times a chicken. No thanks. SpongeBob, fuck you, and Friends Unite. I think you got this, didn't you?
Yeah.
Because you like the idea of a combination.
I love the idea, but...
I mean, crossovers are cool, but SpongeBob just generally isn't. He's funny, but not in a video game.
Yeah, I just didn't really realise that at the time. And, you know, I guess I was sort of like, you know, character fan blind or something.
Yeah.
Because I liked it at the time, but now looking back I realised that I got stuck and I got frustrated and I didn't fucking like it.
I mean, the CG on... Like, the thing that gets me It's like the box art is like, these are the cartoon characters, not the actual what they look like in the game. Look like in the game. I don't know whether this is in focus at all. It probably isn't. But look at them.
Yeah, they're really badly done.
This Jimmy looks worse than he does in his own game, obviously. This SpongeBob looks worse than he does in his own game. I don't know whether Timmy Turner has another game. I actually like Fairly Odd Parents. I like this. I like that. I kind of like this. I have never watched this. But they're shit. I never even looked at this game to know that it was shit. And, yeah.
No, I agree.
Alright, what's this? Pirates of the Caribbean. The Legend of Jack Sparrow. Not based on anything from the movies. In fact, it's kind of bad and annoying because of it. And it's a boring beat 'em up, slash 'em up, shoot 'em up, pirate them up. No sort of piratey things happen. You just shoot things, you run around, you kill waves of enemies. It's the most bland. It's like the Goblet of Fire game.
Yeah.
It's just like walk around in this area, kill some guys, use this gunpowder barrel to blow up the way forward, and then go forward, and then next fucking cutscene. Piece of shit.
I tried really
so disappointing
to get through that. I got really far. I had to find the stupid special sword behind this like fucking thing, and we were in China or some fucking reason. And then after getting that sword, being able to finally get past this annoying wave of enemies, came up to this stupid thing where it's like, oh, you have to do running away from the bombs thing, and you die if you don't, and then you get sent back really far and shit. It's just like, I don't know, it's like a run away from the danger, but you have no... The camera is just so bad in trying to tell you how to get away and shit. I don't really know how to explain it, but it was just unforgiving in that part.
Yeah, on top of being boring, it was difficult. That's the worst combo. Anyway, Spider-Man. Based on, I think, the first movie? Yeah, because it's got the Green Goblin in it. This was the one I was talking about earlier, where you can only swing from building to building. If you go down to the cars, you just fall to your death. Yeah. But the weird thing is, you're swinging from on the top of the buildings, and you're swinging like it's hard to explain, like, you're swinging like up, your arms are like that, like swinging, and all the buildings are here. What the fuck are you attacking your things to? That's a joke.
Helicopters.
Yeah, all of them helicopters.
And clouds.
I remember this game being kind of difficult, and it's kind of boring also, but it's not bad.
It's just meh.
It's just Spider-Man. I wouldn't play it really again. Sonic Riders is a game that didn't work, so I don't know about it. It's fucking Sonic Riders. It looks okay, but it isn't. Because it probably isn't. Because it's Sonic Riders, because it's fucking... What was this bird guy? He's not appeared in anything since. I guess it was just a shit game then.
I saw someone who said they liked it.
Oh, I'm sure somebody does. Naruto Ultimate Ninja 2. I like this game. It's kind of a pretty good ninja game.
The story is kind of...
I mean, the story is Naruto, so whatever. But, like, the way they show it is kind of boring.
Do you remember the level you got up to where it's like
you
have to use the stupid move?
I got to the level where there's Orochimaru and Kabuto, and you as Naruto have to fight Kabuto and defeat him with a very specific... You gotta kill him with the Rasengan. Rasengan? Whatever. You gotta kill him with a specific move. It's hard to do on its own, but the fact that you've gotta whack him down to enough HP and then get him with the Rasengan is so difficult that I just could not. I just could not do it. And I looked up cheats. You can't even fucking cheat your way past it. I just couldn't even do it. Could not even. So I was frustrated at that, but it's alright. It's an alright game up until that point.
Yeah.
Now, this was the first game I ever played because it was, among the 3 games we got, it was the first game that I understood as a thing, because I knew what Tarzan was. I thought, it's going to be a Tarzan game, it's going to be fun, because there was a Tarzan game on the PC where you throw a coconut weapon. You know, you go side-scrolling coconut weapon, Oh, I know Tarzan. I like Tarzan. Disney games are fun. I liked Bug's Life. I will like Tarzan's Free Ride. And it's alright, but compared to Ratchet and Clank and Jak and Daxter, no fucking contest, this was the worst one. And this was the one I had. We had the three brothers. I got Tarzan Free Ride. Charlie got Jak and Daxter, I think. And you got Ratchet and Clank?
I don't really remember.
Yeah. I mean, I remember it better than you do because I was older. But I wasn't old. 2002? I don't know.
Decrepit.
2002, let me think. This year is 2015, but I haven't had my birthday yet. I don't even know what my own age is. Fuck it. I'm 21, and I haven't had my birthday. It's 2015. How old was I on December of 2002 to have played this? Figure it out. Leave a comment. The first person who leaves a comment figuring it out gets fucked. The Sims. The first one. I like this. I enjoy this. I think I broke it at one point.
Didn't like Charlie used to,
Yeah. Everybody used to trap people, kill them, and make a graveyard.
Yeah,
It was basically just the only way to play the game, because the single player I broke at some point because there was an objective you had to do, and for some reason the ability to complete the objective was impossible, and I don't know why that happened, because it was possible the first time, and then the second time I played the game, it just didn't work. You had to buy a guitar, and then he would do something, but for some reason you just couldn't buy the guitar anymore, so I couldn't do the single player, so I just had to use cheats, and then we would make mazes and kill people.
Yeah.
And there was this one time I remember, we just had like two random people making gnomes, just loads and loads of gnomes, and we also made them talk to each other so much that they, like two guys, and then they became romantically engaged, and they were just like two default men in a family of gnome builders. They were just building gnomes and they were gay, and that was it. That was the thing. That's the whole game.
Yeah, I'm just remembering how Charlie used to trap people. He'd like, he'd invite people over, make them invite like their neighbours over, and then, you know, they'd make someone who doesn't have any cooking skill cook, and then once everyone is in, he'd like take away the doors.
Take away the doors.
Them.
I love the fact that you could do that. Such a cool idea. Oh, we have Roller Coaster World. It's like Zoo Tycoon, Theme Park World, but without the other things, maybe? It's a fucking roller coaster. You build it. I haven't played it that much because I didn't care.
I don't think you like made a business out of it. I thought you just sort of like made a roller coaster and tried it out for fun.
Oh no, there was business to it. There was like a park you had to manage.
I really don't remember that bit.
Sims 2, it's like the Sims 1 but with more shit. You know what the Sims is. You do stuff, you make stuff, you people and your people and your people and the
Aliens.
Oh yes, this is aliens. Fucking, I don't know. I like the Sims more because it's less convoluted. But I'm maybe being stupid because this one is actually better. But you know. Wallace and Gromit in Project Zoo. I actually really like this game. It's a 3D platformer where you play as Gromit.
I found it very difficult, but I do remember liking it.
Yeah, it's kind of got floaty controls. Gromit slips all over the place. But yeah. You're fighting a penguin. If you don't know what Wallace and Gromit is, then you're probably not English. But yeah. You use a porridge gun, you shoot monkeys, you save elephants. It's a weird game, but I think it's my favourite now. This is the original Ratchet and Clank that we had, and the disc broke. As you can see, it's one of the ones I had written my name on. There it is. Official 9 out of 10. Well, there you go. So yeah, I bought the platinum version so I could play it again. So this is the broken version, but I just have it here, I guess. Ratchet Gladiator. Some people say, it's not a Ratchet and Clank game, it's not a proper game in the series. I don't know what they're talking about, this is a great game. I mean, it's like saying, like, Daxter wasn't a Jak and Daxter game. Of course it wasn't, it was called Daxter. This is just called Ratchet Gladiator. Get it? Ratchet. You're doing ratchety things. Fight and combat. Combat and fighting. There are some puzzles, but they're not very difficult. You're riding in vehicles. You're an arena fighter. You're a gladiator. It's a different type of game. It's so good, though. I love it. It's my favorite of the entire of this second. This is a different one. Lord of the Rings: The Third Age. This was a interesting one because you don't play as the real people. You play as some random people who are not even really in the game.
It's sort of like it's people who are playing in the sort of same time and
not playing.
Well,
like,
I mean,
adventuring.
You're playing, but they exist as sort of like an unseen parallel to.
Not really parallel, but they're just lagging behind the main adventurers of the story of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
So we go through Moria. You go through Moria just after the Balrog has been defeated and Gandalf is gone, and you're following these adventurers, and it's actually kind of interesting. There's also the fact that you can play as the orcs. You can play certain little bits of combat as the orcs instead of the humans. There's no evil campaign as far as I can remember. Battle alongside members of the Fellowship in an adventure spanning all 3 films in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So yes, all 3 films. I don't think I've ever gotten so far into it that I finished the game.
I found it quite difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. It's an RPG. You go to a thing as turn-based, The other ones were action, wombat, combat, and this is an RPG. So you could shit. They're all falling apart. Sonic Mega Collection Plus.
It's actually quite good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3D Flicky's Island, Sonic the Hedgehog Spinball, Sonic Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Then there's Sega Game Gear games, Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic. It's just a bunch of Sonic games.
There's that comic game.
Yeah, and
I really love.
And there's bonus Sega games. There's the comic game. It's a bunch of good Sega shit, and it's on a PS2 thing. So, I wonder if it has the price on here. No, I guess the price doesn't. Not on the packaging.
The only thing I don't really understand is why you have to unlock some of the games.
Yeah, that's the thing I don't like. You have to play some of the games in order to unlock some of the other ones. Which I guess I understand, but why make a game? It's just a disc with loads of cool collection. It's a collection of games. Why do you need to make a collection into a game? It's like making a filing cabinet a puzzle. You got a fucking safe crack on a filing cabinet just to get the thing out. No point. Alright, this is the thing that I think broke our fat PS2.
Is it?
Well, I remember it doing something like that. Because, oh no, Garfield, as you can see...
The other Garfield did it, didn't it?
No, this is the Garfield that did it, but it didn't do it. But what happened was, this was the only game that would then play on the fat PS2. I tried everything, well not everything, but most things. Garfield seemed to be the only one that would actually work on the broken PS2. So it wasn't broken, it would only play it was a Garfield machine. And we couldn't keep it as a Garfield machine. And I probably assumed that Garfield caused it. It was some conspiracy for Garfield, the makers of this game, to make sure that you only could play Garfield. And as games go, it's kind of mediocre and very long.
Yeah.
But it was fun because it's very, I don't know. It's just highly addictive gameplay for the whole family. I guess addictive is the right word. Because you think about it, you wouldn't want to play this, but you end up playing all of it. I don't think I completed it. I think I got very close to the end. But basically what you do is you've made a mess and John's coming home in a few hours. And that's literally the time of the game. The game lasts battle against the time. Garfield must battle against time. It doesn't say exactly. It might be 6 hours. So there's maximum of 6 hours of gameplay. Not including loading times though. Loading times don't count, so it will be longer. But you've got to... so weird. you've got to vacuum up objects that are in the incorrect place, and then blow them out of the vacuum cleaner into their correct place.
Yep.
So, like, if the guitar is in the basement somehow, and it's supposed to be in the attic, you've got to vacuum it from the basement into your vacuum cleaner, go upstairs into the fucking attic, put it there, and then you put it in the right place. And that's the whole game. You just push stuff in the right place because Odie fucking fucked everything up.
Some platforming, but it's just like sometimes there's things that just look like they belonged there. Like, you know, I could imagine a guitar in the attic. I don't know why it wouldn't be there. You know, maybe it's just don't play.
Yeah.
Blah.
The Herbs Sims in the City. This, I think,
Sushi Maker.
I like more than The Sims in general because it's very specific. It's about being a sim, getting your house together, getting an apartment, getting stuff, but also you go to work. You go to these different districts of the city, and you know you get a different fashion. You got to get a reputation by wearing the right fashion, getting into clubs, getting known, getting recognized, getting cool. It's all about being a cool guy or girl, and you do jobs in the specific areas that are based around, like, there's a biker place and you do barbecues for the bikers. Or no, you do, the job for the bikers is to you know, rip out motorcycles and get the parts off. And then there's like another place where you got to make sushi at a neon sort of area.
Neon.
But yeah.
You do like
love that game. The camera's getting low on battery, so I'm going to have to speed up. Peter Jackson's King Kong. It's a FPS based on the movie of Peter Jackson's King Kong, and also you get to play as King Kong near the end. It's actually kind of atmospheric near the beginning because you're walking around this scary island and it's all sort of like.
Yeah. Also, it's not like a high, not fast FPS. You gotta like, you know, limited ammo and it's scary. You gotta be clever.
Yeah, I was gonna have to stop you there because we got few left to do. iToy Play 3, it's like iToy Play 2, but it's orange, and it's got more iToy things. You move, I explained it earlier. Fucking, I just don't want this camera to die, because I want to get all of this out of the way. Crazy Frog Racer.
It's an okay race, it's about it.
Yeah, it's just sort of whatever. Crazy Frog, do you remember Crazy Frog? Bing bing. It was alright, it was just alright. It's just the dumbest shit. But now, my favourite game. It is, of course, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Is it?
Well, I like it. I like it because of how shitty it is. I just enjoy the fact that it's shitty. I wouldn't play it, but I enjoy knowing it exists and knowing that I had fun playing it at one point. Yeah. You know, it's one of those weird things. You don't like it. It's the most apt thing with which a guilty pleasure would be an accurate description of. Because it really is it's not really, actually it's not a guilty pleasure is a stupid phrase. I like Shadow the Hedgehog, unironically, it's the best game ever. Fuck you all, you're gonna be killed by Shadow the Hedgehog because he's so fucking cool. He's so fucking cool.